Yo, what's going on, guys? In today's video I'm gonna show you the results of Betrayal test. But normally when I'm doing the tests I am focusing on one mechanic. Sometimes I do like one more, a secondary one, but this time I decided to do a decent amount of other mechanics other than Betrayal. It's still not gonna be a crazy amount, but yeah, we are gonna do some other things. So first let's actually talk about all of these other mechanics that we're gonna do. So the first one is heist, so smuggler caches. So basically with this section, which you can buy for 5C, this is gonna guarantee a smuggler cache in a map. And if you are wondering, is it worth it? Well, markers, just markers that you get from these smuggler caches are already gonna pay for the sextant. So all of the contracts and blueprints that you're gonna get are gonna be profit. And even just markers are already probably gonna be profit. So it's definitely worth it, especially if you're gonna combine it with some passives that are gonna increase the stack size of rogue markers, like the ones here and here. You don't need to go for 4% chance for additional smuggler cache because you can only find one in a map, so this doesn't do anything. And in fact these small ones do not even do anything. But this one is pretty nice, you have a better chance to find blueprints and they can be fully revealed. But actually in this test I did not find a single fully revealed blueprint, so that was pretty unlucky. Next one is Gilded Scarabs with combination with Seance. If you are gonna also add a lot of essences in a map, this is pretty much always gonna give you at least 3 possessed monsters, so you're gonna get 12 Gilded Scarabs per sextant, so 3 scarabs per map, 4 uses, 12, and this also is definitely gonna pay for this sextant. You are actually gonna most of the time just triple your money when you're gonna use this sextant. Okay, next mechanic is Sentinel. So I decided to go for City Square, and to be honest, when you are doing Betrayal, map doesn't really matter, and I just had a lot of City Squares laying around, so that's why I decided to go for it. There is no any specific reason why I did it. And because I'm doing City Squares, I did not go for the blue Sentinel, because to be honest, it is pretty bad in City Squares, so I went for the red and yellow. And here you can see my controller, and I still didn't have that great of the Sentinels, but I decided to go for the currency ones, most of them, and increase rewards one. And the ones that I had with currency rewards were not that great. They basically had currency rewards, and that's basically it, nothing else. Okay, and the last few mechanics were first of all just getting guardian maps from map bosses, red altars, so some additional currency from that, and essences. And in fact I actually decided to go for the map device for 3 additional essences, so we're gonna get 4 essences every single map. Okay, so that's basically it in terms of other league mechanics. Now let's talk about the Betrayal. So obviously I went for all of the Betrayal passives except for this one, because to be honest, bribery is not that great, you don't really need it, and it's gonna decrease the chance to get the other options that you would want instead of bribery. Here you're gonna get some additional reinforcement and chance for additional missions. And by the way, if you don't have missions, I just had a lot of them laying around, but if you don't have missions, you can also use Sextant that is gonna give you guaranteed Yun mission. It is actually pretty expensive, I believe it goes for between 20 and 30C, but it's still definitely worth it to go for it, because it's gonna give you 4 missions. But yeah, if you can, just go for the 3 ones. Here you're gonna get extra chance that the leader is gonna be in your map, and this is pretty important because leaders are definitely hard to see in your maps. And test of loyalty is pretty big one, because it's gonna simply give you twice as many ranks for your members, so you're gonna rank them up twice as fast. And intelligence gathering is a very interesting one because it's gonna give you 10 intelligence every time you complete a map. So you're basically gonna have a cycle of betrayal where what you're gonna do is first you want to get 2 safe houses to 100% intelligence. This is gonna give you 30 intelligence per safe house, so it's gonna give you 60. But because we're gonna use this compass also, 100% increase intelligence gained from syndicate targets, this is gonna double it. So basically what you're gonna do is you're gonna use this node, you're gonna do 2 maps. You don't even actually need to use a mission, but you can use it to already find out which members are where, maybe get some already some ranks. And basically you're gonna do few maps to get these safe houses up to max, to full, and you're gonna use this sextant on the map right after the first map, right after you finish the safe house, because then the member is gonna go here. So when it's gonna be procced during the encounter, you're gonna get double the intelligence. So in fact, first safe house is gonna give you 60, and then you're gonna do a second one, and it's gonna give you another 60. So in total, it's gonna be 100%. So you can do both of them at the same time and just use one charge of the sextant, or you can do them one by one and use 2 of them. And after that, you can use the compass to take the sextant back to your inventory and use 2 charges later. So this one is also very cheap. It goes for like 5 to 10 C, and you only need to use few of them when you are doing the strategy, so you're not gonna need that many of them. Okay, so after you get your Katarina at 100 intelligence, then you just focus on ranking up correct members. And I actually very like Syndicate. It's actually pretty easy, but it also rewards good decisions. But even if you are doing it incorrectly, you make some mistakes. To be honest, it's not even that bad. I think it's very intimidating, but it's actually quite easy to understand. So let me just give you a quick explanation, I guess. So the first thing is most important is you're gonna focus on Ace-Link. So Ace-Link, you want to put her in research. So let's say, for example, she's here. So the obvious option that you want to go for is to just derank her. So she goes down here, and then you're going to wait for Ace-Link to show up in research, and then you're going to start ranking her up in here. That's simple, because Ace-Link you can sell on TFT when she's going to be rank 3, and you're going to do Katarina encounter. Because just in case you don't know, when you're going to do Katarina encounter, all of the members safe houses are gonna be inside of Katarina safe house, and they are also gonna be ranked up by 1 more rank, which is the only way to get a rank 4 safe houses. So let's say you have Ace-Link here as a rank 3, then she's gonna be rank 4 during the Katarina encounter, and a rank 4 Ace-Link is gonna add additional veiled modifier to an item, and you can sell it most of the time for 3x on TFT. So yeah, Ace-Link is the most important one. Second most important one, in my opinion, is Hillock, and you want to put Hillock either in fortification or transportation, because it's gonna give 30% quality to armor in fortification and to weapon in transportation. You can also put him in research. This is gonna give you quality for a flask, but only 28%. And you can sell Hillock for 1 exalt as a rank 4. Next one is Vorici in research. It's gonna give 1 to 6 white sockets, which you can sell for 40 C per white socket, also on TFT. Next one is Leo, but Leo, to be honest, is not that important. Leo is gonna give you just Exalt Slam, and it is pretty cheap, between 50 and maybe 70 C, but it's actually pretty hard to sell, and I don't really like waiting additional time for the sales, so I am not focusing on Leo that much. And then the other important ones are the intervention ones. So you can get Elrion for the Reliquary Scarab, Haku for Ambush, Tora for Harbinger, and Gravicius for Divination. These are top 4 Scarabs right now, and I believe all of them as a Winged Scarabs, which you get from rank 4s. Are worth around 70 C, I believe. So yeah, these are basically all of the ones that you want. And when you get something that you don't care about, like Gav or Jorgin, you just want to put them in fortification and transportation. So let's say Gav is here, so you would want to derank him and then put him somewhere here, because these safe houses don't matter as much, so you want to just have 3 slots in here, and you want to fill these slots with bad members. Okay, so that's basically it when it comes to Betrayal. Now let me show you the map example. So I'm gonna use Smuggler Cache, Gilded Scarabs, and I don't need to use this again. Let's use mission, map, essences, and Yun mission. So I'm not focusing fully on clearing a map, I just want to do all of the mechanics. So now I am not really killing monsters. Here is a Yun, so let's go. At the end I am gonna use the Sentinel, so the yellow one, because it's gonna empower the Syndicate members, because they are unique monsters. Okay, so I don't really care about any of them in the research. The only one that I kinda care is Leo, and I am also gonna finish these safe houses to get 100 intelligence. If you would finish these safe houses to get 100 intelligence, you don't really care about the ranks right now, because you're gonna derank them anyway when you're gonna do the safe house. But research is definitely not the one that I'm gonna do right now, maybe intervention. So yeah, let's start ranking up Leo, and I don't care about any of the other ones, so you can either release or interrogate, it doesn't really matter. I'm just gonna release because I don't want extra. Tora is actually also decent here because she's gonna give you experience for gems, but I generally don't like it. Yeah, I am releasing because I don't want extra intelligence for the safe house right now. You can also pick up, I guess this is synthesis, but you can pick up also veiled items, because veiled items this league are actually pretty expensive, at least some of them, because of the recombinators. People like to recombine some of the veiled items to put the mods to other items. Okay, now I killed the boss, so now let's find the last remaining mechanic. So here is the Scarab, because of Ghosted Monster. Let's pick up this option. Okay, so this was intervention encounter. So for intervention, oh, here's another Scarab. For intervention, I want Gravicious definitely in here, but I don't care about Jorgin and Vacan, so I am not gonna go for these options. So this one is already full because I killed the map boss and this procced, so it chose this safe house for 10 additional intelligence. And mission now is complete, because there's not gonna be a third encounter, because I reached 100 intelligence in the fortification, which was here, so it was finished, so now I can't do it. When there is a lot of essences, and especially when there's purple essence, I'm gonna use Remnant. Let's use Stalker Sentinel here. And here is a third Scarab. And now let's finish Sentinels. I'm gonna run around to use all of the charges. Another purple essence. And Sentinel used all of the charges. Let's pick up all of the loot. As you can see, pretty good amount of essences. Let's pick up this altar. And now just clear up remaining essences. When there is like 2 good essences, you can still go for remnants, to be honest, but I generally like to go for at least 3 good essences before I use it. Another altar. And now I'm just gonna check for the last essence and Smuggler Cache. Here's just one essence, and as you can see, there are definitely more possessed monsters than I needed. Okay, so here I got Deception, which is worth like 12C, and 400 markers, which is also around 1 to 2C. So I definitely paid for the... you can also pick up unique ones, but unique ones are generally not that expensive. The only one expensive one is the twins. Now I don't even need to finish the map, I already found all of the content. So let's just go out. So what now I would do is I would do this safe house, and then I would use this sextant for the next map. And then I would try to finish either this or this safe house, and then do it again, complete it, use second charge of this, and then again Katarina would be full, and I would try to find Aisling and put her in here. The only issue is if Aisling is not in the safe house, then you're gonna have to wait for, I mean not in the on the board, then you're gonna have to wait for the option to remove members from the syndicate. So for example, when you get the option to remove Jorgin, then there is, I believe, 33% chance that Aisling is gonna show up. But most of the time she's gonna be there. Okay, so now let me show you the results of the test that I did. So I did around 50, exactly I did 48 maps to finish 4 cycles of Yun. And in my last test, when I was doing heist, I believe I actually got very lucky with the results. And in this test, I actually got pretty unlucky, because I did 4 cycles of Katarina, and in 2 of them, Aisling was not at the beginning on the board. And in 1 of them, I actually did finish the Katarina safe house fully. Like I pretty much had Yun, I mean Leo, It That Fled, which actually I forgot about. It That Fled is also very good in research because it's gonna upgrade the Bridgestones. It That Fled, Leo, Vorici, and a lot of good Scarabs and so on, and I could not get Aisling in here. I removed 6 members and she still didn't show up. So at that point I just decided to complete Katarina, just not wait for Aisling. So that was a pretty unlucky one. In a second one she also was not here, but after I believe 1 removal she appeared and I was able to finish it. And the other 2 were also not super fast, but at least Aisling was there at the beginning, so they were decent. And when I was selling Vorici, every single time I sold Vorici, I actually got one white socket, so only 40C per Vorici. I believe only once I got 2 white sockets. So yeah, everything that could go wrong went wrong pretty much. So yeah, the results are pretty unlucky, but they are still, to be honest, pretty good. So here you can see all of the essences, definitely quite a lot of them. Scarabs, mostly from the Sentinel, and some from the altars. And maps, some garden maps, not that many garden maps because I did only 50 maps. And currency, again, most of them came from the Sentinels, and 2 invitations. Here is all of the loot that I got from Katarina. So here are exalts from the Aisling, Chaos Orbs mostly from Vorici, Bridgestones, Wind Scarabs, and some uniques, which to be honest are not really worth that much. And also I mentioned the veiled items. So for example, when you're doing Katarina, you're gonna get Katarina veiled weapons. And when you get something like, let's say, dagger, it's probably not gonna be worth that much. Let's see if what I'm gonna get if I unveil it. So basically what you hope for is what I didn't get, which is the +2 socketed support gems and quality of socketed support gems, because that's the Katarina mod, and you can't get it any other way other than just drop item in the safe house, and that's basically it. And the reason why it's so important, so good I mean, is because you can use the recombinators to basically move this mod to other item. So I believe the best weapon types to get it on are the bows. So for example, I dropped this bow from Katarina, but unfortunately I got the physical damage on Veil. I didn't get the socket ones. But on this bow I actually did get it. So let's look at the trade. And as you can see, it's worth at least 1 exalt. I actually decided to not include the veiled items in a test, but yes, some of them can definitely be pretty nice, especially bows with plus 2 socketed gems. I believe also things like claws, maybe wands, are also probably pretty nice with that. And here are all of the other veiled items that I got from the other members, and to be honest, some of them are also decent. Like for example here, the life as energy shield is also worth like 20c. Quality of socketed gems on a bow, it's also like 50 chaos. So to be honest, like some of them are also nice, but it is up to you if you feel like going through all of them and figuring out which ones are actually worth it, which ones are not. And also here I have my Sentinels, which I did not include in the test results, and I also did put them in some other tabs. So yeah, I am not including them in the results. And the last tab is this one, which is all of the scarabs that I got from the scarab sextants and all of the contracts and blueprints that I got from the smuggler cache sextant. So all of these contracts are not really sellable. You can try to sell them for like 1c, but generally it's gonna be hard to sell them. So in the test results I only included the good ones. So deceptions, which you can sell for like 12, 13c each. Perception and counter, which you can sell for 3c each. And blueprints, I actually did get a lot of trinkets, which is only 10c unfortunately, but still I got 1 gems, which is 55c. Twins, which I believe go for around 30c right now, so they are also pretty decent. But yeah, that's basically it. Now let's look at the spreadsheet. It is a pretty small one, so there is just 48 maps, 6c each. Scarab Sextant, Karsa Sextants, Remnants, and Map Device for additional essences. So it was pretty cheap test, only 880c, and it took 5 hours. And I lost 37 missions. So if you would want to add, let's say, I believe Sextant goes for around 20c. So for these missions you would need around 10 of them. So you would need to spend additional like 200c, which to be honest doesn't even matter that much at the end of the day. So yeah, it doesn't really matter if you are using your own missions or you have to use the sextant. So here I decided to split the profits into categories, so you can see how much we made from each thing. So from essences, 1.3k, from scarabs 1k, and you can also compare it to the investments. For example, for the scarab sextant I paid 300c and I made more than 1000c, so I basically tripled my profit. Essences I did spend 144c and remnants 90c, so a little bit more than 200c, and I did profit like more than 1000, so definitely worth it. Also heist, 60c investment, 500c profit, so another good one. From Katarina, which is a little bit less than half of all of the profit, 3.5k, and other loot from map, 1.8k. So total profit was 41x, so the profit was 8x per hour, which is decent. It is actually very nice considering my build is not designed for mapping. It doesn't have that good of a clear and that great of a damage, especially single target for the unique monsters. So and again, I believe in this particular test I got unlucky because of the aceling, so you can definitely push it for even more than 10x per hour, especially if you maybe like add some other stuff. I don't know what else you could add for the strategy. You can probably try to do it in Glacier with Pandemonium Sentinels for even more loot. But yeah, Betrayal is definitely one of my favorite league mechanics. I like I mentioned before, really like it because it rewards game knowledge, if you know how to put the members correctly into certain safe houses and which options to choose correctly, you're gonna make more profit. But to be honest, it's not that big of a deal. If you don't really understand it, you're still gonna make probably similar profit to this. It's gonna maybe take you a little bit longer to finish the Katarina safe houses, and after doing it for a little bit, you're gonna learn it, and it's definitely much more enjoyable than expedition, because here you are making some decisions and you need to do a little bit thinking, but only from time to time. When you're doing expedition, you constantly have to check all of your remnants, read the text, and think about like planning routes and so on. So this is, in my opinion, like a balanced amount of thinking and action. So that's why I like it. But yeah, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching and see you next time.